Super Bowl MVP, we want to dive into this. Didn't get a chance to yesterday. We dabbled on it, but we didn't really dive into the numbers. Do you want to approach it going in, assuming you don't have a ticket for a lot of our listeners and viewers, or let's approach it with here's what we have for those that tailed over the last couple of weeks as we were compiling some larger numbers? How do you want to look at this?
I think we should do both. I mean, people that watch this show watch it regularly. And if you're watching it for the first time, maybe this is your opportunity to understand why you watch the show on a regular basis. So let's just start with what we've done so far over the last
Mm-hmm.
couple of weeks. And you have more players, and I believe you have better numbers on a couple of these guys. So I have 3 players right now. Barkley at 5. I had to look it up this morning because I'm like, all right, where am I? You know, you get through Sunday and then you get into Monday and you're like, I just need to take a break from football. So Monday, I was just like melting on the couch all day. And I finally did all my numbers and everything and checked all my boxes and all that. So now I know exactly where I sit. Barkley at 5-1, which we bet before the championship round. I've got Worthy, Xavier Worthy, receiver, rookie for the Chiefs at 125-1.
Oh, nice.
And Jalen Carter, the defensive lineman, the nose tackle for the Eagles, at 500-1. So those are my 3 positions right now that have been accumulated over the last 3 weeks, give or take. Different times, different prices. So Barkley, Worthy, and Carter. Now what? My situation is even more unique because I've got the Kansas City stuff from August. So now if the Chiefs win, I'm cool. If Barkley wins MVP, I'm cool. If Carter wins MVP, I'm flush. you know,
Yeah.
if
That's what
he
I'm talking
forces
about.
2 fumbles and, snaps somebody's leg or something, not that we want that to happen, but if he just breaks the game open figuratively and literally, that's going to be really great at 500-1. Now what? I think the only thing for me that I would think about doing is adding Kelsey. Given what I have and what's already in pocket, I don't need
Ooh.
another Eagle. Like I guess I could go Hurts. I don't I don't know. I don't really want to bet that at plus 375. I could go AJ Brown. It feels like to me though, the Eagles win behind either the defense or Barkley. That's my narrative that I'm going to spin. And then on the Kansas City side, it's probably going to be Mahomes, but if Kansas City wins, I'm good there. So I don't know that I would do anything aside from maybe adding some Kelsey, which you can actually find a 15-1. I'm surprised that the number's that big.
I see an 18.
Oh, really? Okay. I didn't
Yeah.
see the 18.
Yeah.
Wow, that seems pretty high for him. I mean, we've seen
I'm
him in years
surprised.
past. We've seen him in that 8-1, 10-1 range, and I think it's a little high. Okay, there's the 18. I see it. 15, 15, 16, 18, 18. Got it. Okay.
I think it's because he did nothing on Sunday.
That
Otherwise,
helps.
we'd be probably 12, 10 to 12, somewhere like that.
Yeah, 2
Okay.
catches.
Yeah, nothing. So for you, I honestly think you don't need to do anything. You've got the Chiefs' future. You've got Worthy on that side for a long shot. You're right. Kelsey, 18, you would probably want to grab it right now, if anything. But Saquon and Carter, I think you're sitting in a really good spot. For me, it's a little different. But your scenario, since you have the Chiefs Super Bowls, I think you're good. You're not thinking Mahomes, right?
No, I don't know why I need to add more Chiefs.
You don't. It's basically, yeah, that would be exactly what it is. It's just another way to bet the Chiefs for the most part.
Well, but I
Okay,
feel like I feel like Mahomes is an extension of Chiefs money line,
exactly.
which
It's exactly what it
I don't
is.
I don't need more. If I was going to add any more Chiefs, it would be something down the board.
So Mahomes has 3 MVPs in their last 2 Super Bowls, going for the third straight. If he gets it, it would be 3 straight Super Bowl MVPs as well for him. That would give him 4. Now he'd be by himself, only behind Brady, who has 5. Are we thinking that the Chiefs' first 3 Super Bowls are going to give them all to Mahomes? Or every time the Chiefs win a Super Bowl, are they going to give them all to Mahomes? Because that's what we're staring at. Even Brady with 6, 2 of them didn't go to him. They went to receivers. One went to Deion Branch. One went to Julian Edelman. I think the voters think about that kind of history stuff.
Yeah,
I
but
don't
the
know.
voters also love this kid,
They
Mahomes.
love
They
him.
love him. And we've seen
Yeah.
all the stats and all the highlights. And, the reality is if Kansas City wins the game, it will likely be via something Herculean from their quarterback, as it often is. I mean, he goes down the field, leads the drive against Buffalo. They kick the field goal. He got them down the field. If that was the Super Bowl, which it would never be because you're playing an AFC team, but let's just play that game. If you were giving out an AFC championship MVP, who do you give it
to? They're going to give it to Mahomes.
Of course they are.
Yeah.
Because he led the charge and he got them into position and he made it possible for Butker to make the kick. I mean, you don't give it to Kelce. You don't give it
and he had
to...
2 rushing touchdowns.
Of course. Yeah. So, it feels like as long as the Chiefs score enough points, as long as they don't win 7-6, it's going to be Mahomes. Yep. It just feels like that's the type of angle that it always is with the Chiefs. Now, look, could Xavier Worthy have 3 touchdowns? Yes. But we've also seen James White have 3 touchdowns and them give it to Brady still. So I don't know, man. I don't know that the Chiefs win and he doesn't win the MVP.
Yeah. And you don't want to add Chiefs. You're right. I think the only thing to take a look at is certainly Kelce, and you're getting a pretty good number based on him not doing much in the championship game for the one on Sunday, at least. All right. I'm in a different situation. I don't have Chiefs Super Bowl. I do have the 3 names that you mentioned, but I have 3 more.
Good. You've cornered the market.
Yeah, right. Until the guy I don't bet wins. KC side, I have Kelce at 40, Worthy at 80, Chris Jones at 170. Philly side, Saquon at 5, AJ Brown 55, Jalen Carter 650.
Man.
So, but obviously a quarterback wins, I get nothing if I do nothing.
And it's likely to be a quarterback. That's the problem.
See, I think I have to do Mahomes, right? Unless I'm walking away okay losing all 6.
You know what you should look for? You should look for if one of these books does it, and I wouldn't put it past any of these books. Maybe it might be a Vegas book or an offshore book. You might be able to do quarterbacks against the field.
Oh. Do we normally see that posted?
I don't recall it, but I don't think it's the worst market to book. I mean, you'd be paying a pretty steep premium on it. To get Mahomes and Hurts, I'm guessing that's at least minus 350, 400, if not more.
First and third favorites.
It actually might be more. It might be minus 500 now that I think about it. I mean, we haven't seen the market before. You could do the math on it if you want. I didn't do the math. It just came into my head. But, I mean, that would be something that you would at least entertain. Now, if it's minus 700, then forget it.
But look,
that could be something.
The argument for Mahomes is if Philly ends up winning the Super Bowl, I have Saquon, AJ Brown, Jalen Carter. I feel good. Yeah, I could. It could be Hurts, and I'm a loser. I'd probably be willing to take that chance. But if it's KC winning, Kelce, Worthy, Chris Jones, in no way do I feel, oh, man, I'm likely to have the Super Bowl MVP among those 3. I was taking some good numbers on those. So that's why I feel like I've got to go Mahomes. I'm going to look for the best price on Mahomes. I'm going to wait for the move on Philly, and then I'll take Mahomes. Right? Or unless I don't mind going 0-6 on these.
With 6 pretty decent bets to plot those out the way that you did and get both of those teams in. Range on Mahomes, even money, 105, 105, 105, 110. Yeah,
110's the best. Okay. What if you're going in blind? you've got nothing. You haven't accumulated any Super Bowl MVP bets. It's Mahomes plus 110, Saquon plus 280, Hurts plus 370. Books agree with us. We talked about that last week, that Saquon should have a shorter number. Then it dives down to Kelsey at 18-1, Worthy and A.J. Brown in the 30s, Devontae Smith. Then you get to Kareem Hunt, Chris Jones, Hollywood Brown in the 60s, Jalen Carter is 75-1. I heard if you get Karlaftis, you corner the market because he had a 3-sack game against Houston, did not have any sacks in the last game. Mm-hmm. What would you do if you have nothing? I think Kelsey stands out at 18 at a good number.
It does. I also don't think he wins. I mean, at the end of the day, it's probably Mahomes or Barkley. And people don't want to hear that because they want to bet a little to win a lot. But that's usually, I mean, if you go back the last 15 Super Bowls, those are the guys, like the best player on the team that wins. And that's unfortunately how the cookie crumbles. I don't know. Maybe A.J. Brown at 35-1. Maybe.
Yeah, he did nothing for 2 games. And then look at him now. Like, he has 120 yards in the playoffs. Devontae has 121. A.J. Brown has 18 targets, the same amount as Goddard. And Devontae has 12. So between those two receivers, I think you definitely go with A.J. Brown. Could A.J. Brown have a great game? Could he go 150 and 1 or 2 scores? Absolutely, he has that ability. And he could win that award over Hurts.
So if you're going to bet Brown, get the best number. There's a 20, there's a 24, a 28, a 32, and MGM has 35-1. You will save yourself $15 if you bet it at the right spot.
The number 1 receiver on the 1.5-point dog, and the public doesn't really love the quarterback of that team. Process-wise, that's a good spot to be in. I know he's dealing with Saquon. He's got to have a better game than Saquon. But just that's the quarterback that obviously him being the third favorite overall, almost 4-1 now, where let's pick some players on that side. Eagles win. A.J. Brown has a big game, certainly possible, and that's a really good number right now. So, yeah, that's the kind of range that we're talking, the 18 with Kelsey or those 30s with Worthy and A.J. Brown.